Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me here at Friendship Shaving. And before I start my shave, I'd like to say congratulations to the winner of the giveaway that took place on the community page of the Friendship Shaving channel. And our winner is Jim G7755. So Jim, well done, and if you would get in touch with me, please find my email address either on that community page or in the description to this video. Thank you everyone who took part. Jim, get in touch and I'll get those 6 tubs of soap out to you as soon as possible. Now, got a good shave for you today. First of all, do you remember the brush I used last shave? Well, I've tarted it up a little bit. I have it here. And I put a coin back in the bottom of the brush. It's a birth date coin, 1963, and it is a halfpenny from a time before decimalisation. I'll talk about that a little bit later. I've also put a little bit of polyurethane varnish onto the wooden handle. It really makes that pattern pop now, and I've reseated the knot as well, so a little bit to talk about there, but what a lovely brush. And by the way, that coin is not the one that I misplaced. I still haven't found that. I'm afraid I had to buy a new one. Thank goodness for the internet, but it was only 99 pence plus postage. I have a fabulous soap to use today. I did a little trade with my friend Billy, and one of the things he offered me was Cavendish by PAA, and this is their CK6 formula, and this really is a very nicely scented tobacco soap, tobacco scented soap, you know what I mean. So we'll put that down there for the moment. I'm going to be shaving with Storto today, the slant razor from Fatip. I've used it before on the channel. You can see that I have little rings of black electrical tape. There's a little tip that I got, and thank you to that gentleman, because the razor blade was too loose in fitting into the head cap, so a little bit of electrical tape around there. And today I've got a Treet Platinum razor blade. Just show you the packet so that you will recognise it. There we are, one of those. A super stainless blade. I've used these before and I quite like them, so we'll see if they work in this razor. There we are, and we'll just put the handle on. And there we are, that is the slant razor from Fatip. Be talking about that, telling you about that, and discussing slant razors in general as our shave goes along. So I'm going to wet my brush. Oop. Just giving that not a squeeze and a shake, and I will take that to this pack of soap, and we'll just start loading the soap. I like this Cavendish. I find tobacco soaps very nice generally. I've never really had many of them, but I have had some samples of very, very nicely scented soaps, and this one's profile is scents of dark Kentucky and burley tobacco. includes scent notes of cherry, vanilla, cedar, leather, and a kiss of smoke. Now what I get when I put my nose in is the sweetness of the tobacco. It has a very particular scent. A little bit of the cherry, a little hint of the cherry, and a touch of the vanilla coming through. Very, very pleasant indeed. The CK6 is a very soft soap, so you can see that it goes on very easily. Just wiping my hand there, and we'll get started with this. Now, the halfpenny on the bottom of my brush there is in fact Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind. We have inadvertently got a little bit of a ship theme going on with the channel. The channel was named after the ship Friendship on my Old Spice mug. I have some little boats on the wall there, and now we've got Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind from 1963. I don't know if you know this, but I believe that the actual ship is in dry dock in Canary Wharf in London, and for many, many years there was an exact replica floating in Brixham Harbour, and Brixham is a little fishing town just across the bay from me. And I look south towards Brixham Harbour, but it was always surprising what a small boat, small ship, the Golden Hind actually was in real life. Quite incredible, really. And Sir Francis Drake actually died on the 28th of January of dysentery. What a horrible way to die. He was 56 years old when he passed. And it followed an unsuccessful raid on Panama. There we are, a bit of history there to do with that boat on the coin. Now you can see that I've called it a boat again, haven't I? It's because it's so little in size. Anyway, I was about to say, you can see I've got fantastic leather. I really like the knot on this brush. When I was cleaning up, when last I used it, the knot fell out to go with the coin, so I have re-drilled a little deeper on both ends, and I have used silicone to reseat the coin and the knot. I prefer to use silicone. I find it much more forgiving and easier to use than epoxy resin. That's just my choice. And we are ready to start today's shave with the Slant razor. So, what is the big idea, you might ask, about a slant razor? Well, we will get into that very shortly. But this one has an oblique head and the blade cuts at an angle like a guillotine blade. The razor itself is not expensive. It is a lightweight razor. It's 67 grams. It is a short-handled razor. And this is the genteel head, which is a closed comb, rather than an open comb. And it will sell for about $30, £30, thereabouts. Maybe a touch more than that. But the handle is only 85 millimeters in height. There we are. It works very well with this. With this Treet blade. They are very nice blades, I find. And I have, I think, 4 days growth, so a little bit of growth there to take off. The angle is very easy to find on this. It's a very nice shave. The only thing I find is that sometimes, not always, but sometimes down here, it has a propensity to leave me just slightly sore for, I don't know, not long, 10 minutes or so after my shave. And in fact, I find that with a lot of slant razors. The idea behind it is, of course, based on the guillotine. The idea that the blade cuts at an angle and is therefore more effective. There's also the idea that because of that, it works better perhaps for gentlemen that have very coarse or thick hair, but it also is able for those gentlemen with sensitive skin to be quite easy on the skin while it's ploughing through that thick, coarse hair. I have found personally in quite a few of the slant razors I've tried that they take a bit of getting used to, and usually for the first few shaves I get a bit of razor burn. Of course, that likely depends on the slant razor you're using, but this is quite a nice one. It certainly is quite effective. Back in the early days of razor manufacture, when companies were coming up with new ideas and new patents, German manufacturers really took to the idea of a slant razor and that oblique angle for the blade, and they made an awful lot of slant razors, and the only ones still available, German razors, the only German brands still available are those from Merkur, I think, the 37 and a 39C. One has the longer handle. But there was a time when they were very, very popular, and some of the brands were Ibsen and Fazan. There seemed to be an awful lot of Bakelite slant razors, and some of those have been replicated. PAA now does a slant razor rock. Above the Tide did a lovely slant razor, the X1, but takes a different type of blade to this. The Icon X3, Parker do a semi-slant. There are certainly plenty of slant razors available for people to try, but I believe Merkur is the only German one still available. Extant. That's a new word I learnt today. It means still available. I didn't know that. Anyway, there we go. Let's go with this second pass. The smell of this soap, oh, it's beautiful now. Getting that really, really sweet tobacco scent. It's really very nice indeed. Now, this is a mild razor, despite what I said about it. Leaving me a little bit sore sometimes on my neck. Certainly not getting any blade feel on this second pass. You know, we talk about slickness in soap. I can really feel it on the soap I'm using today. You know, as I'm adding water and cleaning my razor, can really feel that this slope, you're getting confused there, this soap is nice and slick. There's too many S's and L's going on there for my liking. Gentlemen, got something to show you at the end of this video, so just stay tuned for that. I bought a new brush. I didn't want to use it today, although I'm quite excited about it, because I wanted to show you this one with the coin in it. I'm very pleased with this little brush, and it just goes to show you, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a nice brush. A little bit of, I think, oak, and a very inexpensive synthetic knot, a little coin in a bottom, and I love this brush. I think the gloss on the handle has made it more than I realised, and I knew I liked it when I did that and the gloss had dried, because I kept picking it up and looking at it. Very, very super soft knot. Yeah, it's absolutely lovely. I liked it before, but now it's all shiny. I like it even more. Beautiful. There we are. I just, look at that, it's beautiful. There we go. Here we are, against the grain now. And I think this actually is where this razor usually gets me and makes me feel a little bit sore. So I'm being very gentle today. Going against the grain there. It is not quite so smooth against the grain, just on that bit of my neck, which is really my awkward bit. But everywhere else it's very smooth. My only criticism really of this razor was that the razor blade had a sloppy fit. So I hope you've had a very, very good day, guys, wherever you are watching. I hope you're keeping well. We've had a nice day here. Not super bright, but a nice day. Allowed me to get out into the garden for just a little while and just sit and watch the wildlife. Very relaxing thing to do. I had a coat on. You know, we're not talking about super warm weather here, but it was nevertheless very nice to get out. There, I can feel it there. It's really getting in under that hair. Even though I'm being very, very gentle. That's it. We'll stop there before we go too far. So there we are, the Storto. Quite a nice little razor from Fatip. Their usual finish, quite nice. Actually, they've improved a little bit, I feel. I just need to drain some water, guys. Excuse me a moment. There we are. I tell you what, fellas, when I'm doing this, oh, the slickness on my skin is amazing. Now, I don't really have an aftershave that goes with tobacco. So I think I'm just going to use some massage rub today. But just before I do that, guys, I wanted to show you this brush I bought very recently. It came yesterday. I have not owned one of these before. I save up £2 coins, you see. If ever I get some change and there's a £2 coin in it, I pop that away. And every once in a while, I raid my piggy bank and I get to spend a little bit of money on an item of shaving that I like. And I bought a rather special Simpsons Chubby 2. Here it is, the Chubby 2. And this one is in their Monarch pour. Look at the colour on that blue. It is, as you can see, a synthetic knot. It is their Sovereign knot. And this one It's got the label on there, Simpsons, and they operate out of the Isle of Man these days from the old Volfix site. And the reason I got this one is because it celebrates the coronation of King Charles III. And it says King Charles III, coronation, 6th of May 2023. Gosh, it's been that long already. It was quite expensive, £99, but I felt I really wanted one of these. Look at the blue on that, I love it. What I would say about this is that I didn't realise when they talk about a chubby, it really is a short, stout brush. That's a nice way of saying it, a short, stout brush. It is a chubby brush. I didn't realise it would be quite as wide at the base as this 20. I think it's a 27mm synthetic knot. Feels like there's a little bit of backbone on it there. I think it's 50mm loft and 45mm handle height. Yeah, beautiful, really, really beautiful. So there we are. The Simpson Monarch shaving brush. Sovereign fibre. See what they've done there? Sovereign Monarch. Oh, I don't know, that's clever, isn't it? There's my brush, guys. Very pleased with that. Right now, let me get some of this Assage rub on. Oh, crikey. And that is my shave for today. Do you know I use my old, very old Samsung A6 mini tablet. I got an A7 tablet a couple of years ago, but it's got a very bright screen and I can't really use it without hurting my eyes. I thought I would use that as a replacement to my little Samsung, which I am using now and has done me well. Do you know the camera on the newer version is terrible compared to this? So you never know what you're going to get till you actually buy it. So thank goodness for my little old Samsung, what's it called, a Tab A6 or something. And wouldn't you know it, my laptop broke this week as well, so thank goodness for this little tablet. Anyway, guys, I'm talking rubbish now, and you take care. Thanks very much for joining me. Jim, please get in touch so I can send that soap to you. All the very best, gents. Have a good week. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.